Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is an energy transit astrology reading with my partner, John. So we were just sitting here and he was randomly, like he does, telling me all this epic stuff that was going to be happening to me and like going over stuff that had happened in the past in the planets and how it's affecting me. If you guys don't already know, John is an astrologer and he does astrology readings on his channel. He just started doing monthly transit readings for each sign, right?
Weekly, yeah.
Yeah, actually weekly. Wow. So he's doing weekly. I didn't even know you were doing that. He's doing weekly readings for each sign. He's going to finish the last couple signs this evening. So check out his channel today, tomorrow, and you will see a reading for your sign for the week in the energy. And it's been really cool learning more from him. If you guys were here hanging out with us, you would be amazed. We're constantly doing astrology readings, pulling cards. Like, this is just what we do. And so,
or annoyed, you'd be like, when will they not shut up
about
it?
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I need an hour like of a break from like this psychic astrology shit. Can you just stop?
Need to watch TV or something.
Or like I just woke up and he'll be like, guess what's happening in your sign today? Today's gonna be a good day. It's like sweet, but
yeah, I've been into it for a long time, and then just recently something kind of unlocked, and so I've been doing like a lot of reading. I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube, getting into the basics of like, you know, planetary influences and aspects and natal charts and all that stuff, because I found this project called Project Hindsight, where they are pulling up all of these ancient texts, you know, Latin and Roman texts and stuff like that, of Hellenistic astrology. And it's for the first time there's actually some people that are actually astrologers getting into the translations of this stuff that's never been translated before. They've had it for ages, but they just never got into translating it. And so I can't wait for us to get to a place for a little while longer so I can actually have the book shipped to me, because we're always having trouble getting stuff shipped here.
Yeah, because we're constantly traveling, so yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to it because it gets into like this really a lot older traditions of what like modern culture, I guess, especially in America, considers astrology. I mean, it's not like I'm saying it's inaccurate, but a lot of it is very surface level, and I'm really excited to get into like kind of like the deeper levels.
He goes deep. He's told me some stuff over the past couple months that has like unlocked my shit, like really like helped me feel more in alignment and helped me feel more like I'm on my purpose, and like he's read my whole life, and it's like really cool. So I wanted to share this with you guys. He's just doing a reading for me. It kind of happened, and I was like, why don't we just film this? So we're just like chilling here, cuddling on the couch with my favorite blanket. You guys all know this blanket. It's been all over the world. And what we're actually doing is an Aquarius reading. So if you are an Aquarius like me, then this will also apply to you. But if you just are interested to find out what's going on in my life and what the planets are going on like for me, then go ahead and watch. And if you just want to see more of what John does, check it out. And if you would like a reading with John, your readings are only $33 right now, right?
For my Skypes, and yeah, no, my basic regular video readings are $22.
$22, yeah. So you can get a reading for him for $22 or $33. And if you have some specific questions, he'll probably put some astrology into it as well to kind of tell you what's going on in your planets. And in the future, he will be doing birth charts, and he will be offering transit readings and stuff like that. So just stay tuned. Right now, he's just doing a lot of it for free on his channel. So I'll put the link to his channel in the description and the comments below, and you can just get readings from him. And yeah, let's go for it. I'm excited to get a reading. It's such a treat. I'm doing readings so much. I've been doing readings all day long, and it's nice to have a break and have someone kind of do a reading for me. So let's get started.
So first things is, Aquarius, obviously if you're born in certain times, it makes you an Aquarius, or at least basically most people kind of assume that. It just means that your sun sign, your sun was lined up in the constellation Aquarius, or the tropical, you know, zodiac of Aquarius. So your date that you were born can put you on like closer to one end or the other.
And if anyone's interested, I was born on January 26th. So that's my birthday.
So I've got her natal chart with her exact time, like down to the minute of the birth. And the location. That's usually what's required.
Can you tell him the weird thing about when I was born?
Oh, yes.
We found this out. He told me, and it's like so bizarre.
So she was born at, what is it, 11:20 or something?
A.M.
a.m., which she was basically born, I want to say, a little bit before the eclipse happened.
Pretty much right when the
within an hour of I think it's a lunar eclipse.
The eclipse was on the horizon when I was born.
So it's a really trippy kind of a sign that you're born on eclipses, especially being born like within like a very small time frame of it happening. So it's really fascinating to find that out, and I was like, what?
Yeah. I feel lucky.
But yeah, so I've got her natal chart pulled up, and I was talking to her. This is what we got carried away about. I was talking to her about because I'm doing the last 6 signs of the zodiac tonight. I've uploaded the first 6
for this week, right?
For November to like up to the 9th, because I tried as much as I could to find stuff for the beginning, like the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd. But there's nothing happening. It's just kind of trailing energies and influences from what was happening in October. I've been trying to get into doing weekly updates. We had a couple of things that delayed me getting everything up in time.
Starting to retrograde.
But I'm finishing it all up tonight. But we were talking about Aquarius, and I was telling her like, oh, this is happening, and like you're gonna be so happy because she has a lot of planets influencing her 10th house, which has to do with like her reputation and like being a public figure and everything.
Yeah, so tell them what the 10th house is so they like understand. Right, so it's like public recognition. It's like
I've been learning
a public figure. It's weird. I have a lot of planets in that house.
I've been learning a lot about houses. I want to get some books and stuff and get into like the details, because I'm just kind of like a lore person. I really like to get into all of it. But for the 10th house, it's basically like your idea of what you want to be known for, what you want to have your reputation as, how you want your kind of like public figure identity to be in terms of like who you are out in the world. It's not necessarily like your group of friends and like how they see you. It's more like I guess if you're a YouTube person, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of funny.
It's like it was written in the stars.
Yeah, it's kind of like your role in the public view. Like how like a random person who sees you somewhere would know of you, would know about you, would know what your reputation is as a person and everything. That's the 10th house. But in your 11th house, on the 9th, we were talking about how Jupiter is switching into Sagittarius, which is very good.
And what's my 11th house again?
Your 11th house.
I'm still learning all this too.
So I'm still learning about the houses and like how some of them are actually associated with each other. You have the 9th house, the 10th house, and the 11th house, which are all next to each other, obviously. And they're all kind of associated with like the karma, the purpose, the mission.
Yeah, so your life mission and soul purpose. Yeah. Talk about that a lot on the channel.
Kind of how your past life karma brings you into situations in your younger parts of your life to bring in this kind of contrast to what you're supposed to be doing with your life, so that you have that motivation to do it, that connection, the passion, the inspiration, all those things. So the 11th house is like, I guess you could say it's like how the universe will reflect back to you what you put out there, like the whole reap what you sow kind of in a relationship.
It's almost kind of your karma.
Yeah.
And destiny.
And then they have some technical terms. I'm looking at my notes here, like like how your community supports you. How your investments pay off. So sometimes it has to do with money, sometimes. But I feel like it's more about, like I said, the relationship with the universe as a whole, how it responds to you and reflects back to you, like your life purpose, your mission, your philanthropy towards like the others in your life, basically, not like
the others.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Like your relationship with the other versus the self. Basically.
Okay, so Jupiter's going into that house for me. People that are in Aquarius.
Yeah, Jupiter's entering your 11th house. And that's on the 9th. and that's in Sagittarius, which Sagittarius is kind of like this. I mean, it's like the hunter. I think like that's the typical stereotype.
The archer.
But it's also the archer, the hunter. Yeah. Teaching, wisdom, freedom, like spiritual freedom. Shamanism.
Adventure.
Travel. Yeah, adventure.
See, I know about the signs. Yeah.
So, obviously, a very good sign for you. Because it's going to be there for a while. It's going to be there until December of next year.
Wow.
So lots of
like a whole year pretty much.
Because Jupiter's a big big planet.
Jupiter's
likes to blow things up.
Yeah, it's about money, abundance, expansion, wealth, happiness, prosperity.
Wisdom too.
Like career sometimes. Friendship. Yeah, it's like expansion.
Yeah.
I've always liked Jupiter. It's like one of my favorite planets.
Yeah, philosophy.
Yeah.
Luck, a lot of times too.
What does that say?
Good luck.
What? History.
I
thought it said hipster. I was like, what?
Also sometimes about indulgence and like kind of going a little overboard, basically.
Compassion, empathy, love.
Mm-hmm. Potential. Lots and lots of potential. It likes to... Like, I was reading about the actual symbols of the signs, and since Jupiter is like this little thing and then the cross, talks about how like there's, the cross usually represents like a grounding energy, and since Jupiter's got that cross on the bottom, it's like an expansion of what's above. Instead of expanding into your roots, it's expanding above where there's plenty of space. So it's like, it likes to take where you're at and then like really like grow it
That's
upwards
really exciting.
And outwards.
So it's like I always talk about going through a personal winter in your life or spring. It's like a spring phase.
Yeah, it's not trimming or anything like that.
That is so exciting. You guys, I've been through a lot, so this is very exciting news. Like, what else is this gonna mean for me? Like, what do you think's gonna happen over the next year because of this energy? Just your prediction.
Well, I mean, as far as just Jupiter's concerned, it's obviously a good influence. They talk about aspects and the way that all of it comes together as...
And it's in my 11th house.
Yeah, it falls in your 11th house.
So...
So, I guess you could say in terms of that aspect of your life, obviously there may be, throughout now up to December, there may be other planets that come up in alignment with it and may come to opposition with it or may come to support it as like a trine where it like... comes and flows really easily, but altogether Jupiter is like a very strong influence for you. It's not your ruler or anything like that where you have like a really positive relationship with it, but you're not against it either.
I think it likes me.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I think in general it's very positive. I haven't really looked into the rest of the year for you, but I could say definitely I always love it when Jupiter's like doing it got a really good alignment for energy for what's happening.
So it's gonna blow some shit up for me.
Yeah.
Probably in my career and like anything I've like projects I've been having like going and like putting energy into and Yeah, it
could basically mean like, well, and since it has to do with your life purpose, your life purpose is obviously sharing wisdom and experiences,
healing and communication,
heal people.
Communication is obviously a huge part of it.
Yeah, you're an Aquarius, you're an air sign, so you really like to communicate and share and spread like this information of like healing and empowerment. So that obviously extends to, you know, the people that are watching you and trying to learn from you.
So it's going to be good for you guys too.
That you're going to be... Because one thing I've realized too...
I feel like I'm already feeling it. Sorry to interrupt. But I feel like on fire. Like even today I just woke up and was like, I'm so down to like do this reading for this girl. And for my next client. And
getting a boost.
Every day, like, this is every day, you guys. Like, I wake up every day and do these readings and work on this channel. Like, this is my life right now. It's like my calling. It's like, so I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I feel this boost. Like, I need it. Like, I want to keep going.
Yeah, and I've been learning about, like, planets. I'm still, because it's, like, more of an exploration for me, I don't always, like, settle on something I really line up with right away, like, because I'm kind of like I'm a Taurus sun sign, so like for me a lot of times I like research everything and figure everything out before I really settle and decide this is what I think about it and this is what I believe. But I've been learning about planets and the possibility that there's these kind of energetic beings that like exist there, as well as constellations that exist in areas, and that like they pass on this energy to you to accomplish you know, your mission in life, in order to you know, to bring love and peace and fulfillment and freedom here on this material world, where you as a human have come down from, you know, like a spiritual place to come down to take action in the physical realm. And so the planets basically extend their energy to you in order to, you know, to line things up, to bring these opportunities for you to grow, or to make mistakes and learn from them, and all of that. So it's that's why I've really been having a lot of fun with it, because I feel like I've been learning a lot more about not just what's happening on this planet, because sometimes I'm not saying it's bad, but like your groundedness and your relationship with the earth and with nature and the cycles of nature is all great. But I've been really expanding my understanding, and I feel like my relationship with what's outside the planet and what's going on outside of there, and feeling like I'm getting a like a bigger picture of things. But
That's cool.
for you,
Yeah, what else is gonna happen?
you have some Uranus is going retrograde into Aries, which it just switched into Taurus. I think it was the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I'm not square on the dates yet, but it going back. It appears to go back, basically, as it does like a funny little loop. And from our point of view, it appears to go back for, I think it's up until March. I want to say like the 19th or the 13th or something. It starts with a 1. But since it's going backwards into Aries, a sign that it was in, I think, back in 2011. If you remember, back in 2011, especially in the States, there was a lot of very fiery, like protesty kind of energy going on.
Yeah.
And Uranus is like really big on freedom. It really doesn't like figures of authority that are restrictive. It wants to be completely free.
And Uranus
express
is one of
itself.
my ruling planets, because I have 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Oh yeah, yours.
All
is
Aquariuses have 2. Uranus and Saturn.
Uranus and Saturn, yeah.
Yeah, and so Uranus is one of my ruling planets.
Yeah, but it's in Aries, so it's not necessarily like a bad relationship. I would say
But what does that mean for me?
Since it falls in your 3rd house, which is all about communications, you might have some particularly rebellious words to say to any kind of figures of authority or anything. But all the way, it's going to push you to really feel like freedom in the way that you share and the way that you communicate with others. You're not going to, like, anytime some kind of restrictive energy is going to come into your experience, you're going to want to push that away. So you're going to meet that with resistance. You're going to be pushing back at it.
Yeah.
So if you're in a communication with somebody who's telling you to be quiet, or to change how you say things, or to, you know what I mean? Like say if you're working for a company that's like, sorry, like that topic is off limits, like you can't do that. As an Aquarius, if that came up during this time period, you're going to be like, okay, I see how it is.
No, I'd be like, oh hell no.
And
just
then
kidding.
and then like
I
when it
do
actually,
what I want. Just kidding.
when it comes to
That's
time,
why I don't have a boss. I'm my own. This is
Yeah.
literally like, I can't handle authority figures, and I mean I can, but I prefer not to.
Well, and
Like,
you
so I've found a way to be my own boss.
would take an opportunity like that and either throw it back in their face, or find a way to literally.
I'm not vengeful like that, but
Or find a way to literally like do it anyways and somehow get away with it. But
especially like under this energy.
yeah,
It's funny.
because it's in Aries, but it's also retrograde, so it also means it's going to push you to look back, especially back into this period of 2011 when it was in
think
Aries.
what was happening in my life back then.
Yeah, and you're going to look back to that and think about, man, all those ways that I was restricted, all those ways that I felt like I wasn't free to express, free to communicate with others, free to...
And that was when I really started getting my fashion career going, so I had just like an intuition, maybe it'll have something to do with my fashion career, like
Could be.
kind of going back and getting that going more and like stepping up
definitely.
to that. I've been really focused on this channel and stuff lately. I need to do more fashion work.
Well, we've been traveling a lot too,
Yeah.
and making scheduling and getting all those resources
But luckily
together.
we're going to Paris again for 3 months, and like couple months. So
making some changes. But yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Because it's retrograde, everything, whenever stuff goes retrograde, the key word is re. So anything, that pushes you to look back or to
revisit, reorganize, restructure.
Exactly.
Yeah, rethink, replan.
And
reconnect.
And since the energy of Uranus is rebellion and freedom and new things and changes to current structures, all of that, you're going to look back at old structures and old ways of things. So that's another thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then let's see.
The topics I'll probably be talking about probably have a lot to do with like breaking out of the past.
New ideas, new ways.
Yeah.
And you're, as an Aquarius too, you have a tendency to really gravitate towards new ideas, new ways of doing things, new structures, new social balance, social reform, all of those things.
I have a huge passion with just like wanting to help people find a way to not be like imprisoned and not feel like they're stuck in society in particular, like to find the freedom to live their life the way that they want. That's like the whole thing is about finding balance and peace to live a more colorful life, like finding your balance, finding that peace within you, and being able to make your own decisions. And I really am encouraging a lot of you guys like to start your own business or to take the creative path if you're creative, or find another way to go about achieving the things you want to achieve in your life, not feeling like you have to follow the status quo. It's very Aquarius, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and because of your natal chart, I was just looking at it, you have your rulers are in your 9th house with, I think it's Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn. Which means like you are going to be somebody, I feel, that wants to, because Capricorn's I think it's a cardinal sign.
Yeah.
So it like wants to start things and wants to initiate things. It doesn't always finish things. But it's Uranus and Saturn are both in that, and also Neptune, which has kind of like that dreamy, kind of misty, escapist.
Oh, I'm such a dreamer.
Like, yeah.
I'm such a dreamer.
I was gonna say is you...
I love nothing more than to just like, I love having a beautiful view out my window. My favorite thing to do is just like stare out my window at like a beautiful view and daydream. That's like my favorite thing.
So I was gonna say, because you like talking about social reform, new ways of doing things for society so that things are more fair, so that people have more opportunities, so that there's less oppression, so that there's, you know what I mean? But so there's that push for you to dream and to come up with new ways of doing that, which as with your ability to influence, obviously with something like YouTube where you're trying to help people, this is a good platform for you to obviously reach out to people, see what their problems are, see what the general like issues are that people in these situations have, how to come up with solutions for them, and then you obviously have dreams of coming together for women that have been abused.
Yes, I talk about it on my channel, but my ultimate goal with this is to like get this so blown up and to get so much abundance and wealth and power in a positive way to be able to develop actual rehabilitation centers for women who've been abused. Not just throwing money at them or just giving them the things they need, but actually psychologically and mentally helping them to be rehabilitated, specifically from narcissistic abuse. And I want to be able to help people who've been emotionally abused, because I feel like there's like a lot of people out there who've been emotionally or psychologically abused, which is awful and can like fuck up your whole life. But like if the person hasn't laid a hand on you, there's like not a lot of places you can go, and then you got to pay for therapy, and therapy's hundreds of dollars a month. And I just want to be able to give free therapy to people from licensed professionals. I want to be able to have lawyers and people that can help people get custody of their children, and I even want to donate houses to people, places to live, and just help people get back on their feet, and just feel like they know what their purpose is and they can move forward and know how to process all of that. Anyways, I could talk about that forever, but that's like my vision. I don't think there's a lot of places out there that help people who've been emotionally and psychologically abused, or specifically narcissistically abused. And so I just want to have somewhere for them to go to receive that help and that healing.
Yeah, and you have
from professionals.
And because I was gonna say, I'm still learning about the ninth house, but I'm pretty sure the ninth house, which all those 3 planets are in, is built off of your kind of like the shadow side, the negative experiences that you've had in
I
your
have
life.
to readjust. Sorry, my butt hurts.
The negative experiences that you've had, especially in your younger life, where it's pushed you to have those passions and to have the connection with people who've been abused, to have the connection with people who have an issue with authority, all those things.
Definitely. Yeah, I would never be into that if it wasn't for like what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then let's see. So
you learn how to kind of see like all the parts of your life as like a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, you start looking back and realizing, well, that was really shitty and that was awful, but it did kind of make me who I am, and it did give me certain passions. It's like you would never think the people that abused you or that hurt you, but like I'm thankful for like how I decided to heal from that and also to do something to help others.
Well, and I feel like when I was younger, especially after I left my parents' house, that I felt like, you know what, man, like being young, being free, having all this energy, finally getting away from restriction, feeling the ability to be whoever I want to be, to experiment without feeling judged by others, all that stuff. But funny enough, now that I'm like 32, I actually really, really appreciate where I'm at right now, because I'm starting to realize all of this stuff. Funny enough, I'm really digging into my own chart too, and seeing your stuff also says to me, like, you go through these experiences thinking, you know, oh, how awful, how negative, I'm going to be carrying this around like my whole life or whatever. And then
part of that's true. Part of that's true.
But like, but at a certain point, you start realizing this is like literally the fuel that's pushing you
Yes, I call
forward.
it the catalyst for your greatest good.
Yeah, like
the catalyst for your greatest good.
You stop thinking like, oh, what an awful experience, and I have no use for that.
Yeah, you just ask, how can I use this?
Yeah.
How, like...
It turns into...
Start thinking, like, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, what is the message in this?
It
like,
turns into how you connect with others.
Yeah.
It turns into ways that you can share experiences
and that's
with
called
others.
Transmuting. That's called alchemy. When you take, you know, I talk about this a lot, when you take the worst and you make it into something awesome. Like, you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I'm putting, this is like for her, I know her natal chart and stuff, so like I can get a little bit more into depth with it. But I'm putting up kind of a basic reading. They're usually 10 or 15 minutes where I pull up just some basic transits, the most important ones that I could find. And I do a quick little interpretation for the transits for your sign. So
it's legit. I watch mine every week.
It'll be for Aquarius.
It's fun. I'm like so excited. I'm like, when are you going to post it?
I'm posting Aquarius ideally tonight, provided the internet's working fast enough.
Yeah, we our internet, we're moving to another place for like a month and like a few days, and the internet's going to be legit, and we're here just for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks. So we're traveling around Italy right now, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll be in Italy for a couple more months, and then we're headed to Paris.
Yeah. So I'm uploading Aquarius, but the rest of your stuff, pretty much, there's on the 6th, the Sun is in Scorpio. It's trining with Neptune in Pisces.
Okay.
That's in your 10th house and 2nd house. I'd say that's more about like I was mentioning with you earlier, like it's a great opportunity to be recognized at work, where you kind of have this time frame of like not saying like you screw off or anything like that, but like this is the time frame where you're very visible at work. There's a lot of people who are watching you.
Yeah, I know, I'm feeling it. Like the holidays are my busiest period. I think a lot of people just like freak out and have breakdowns because of like many reasons around this time. And so
understandable.
And last year around this time I got like so many orders, and like I was working my ass off, and so I just so you guys know, I prepared.
On Christmas Eve you were working.
I was working. I honestly, I don't celebrate the holidays, so seriously, if anybody needs a reading on Christmas, if anybody needs a reading on Thanksgiving, if like I'm gonna be doing, like, I'm serious, like not like I don't take time off, I do, but
on different days.
And so I'm here for you guys, and I am this is my busy season, so like I've cleared my schedule for the next couple of months. Like this is what I'm going to be doing, and I'm actually really excited.
Yeah,
There's going to be so much coming to the channel, so stay tuned.
You're gonna have a time frame in the next couple of days, I feel too, where there's gonna be more people watching you.
Yeah.
This isn't a time to, like, I guess you could say, dick around. Not like I'm saying you dick around a lot at work.
No, I don't.
But like,
I got a lot of Capricorn in my chart, and so I'm like kind of a workaholic.
Yeah. So this visibility for you is a great opportunity for you to like put on your best show. Not like you're faking or pretending, but like to take the best side of yourself and really like turn the volume up on that thing.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And it's a great time to kind of show off.
Work.
It's like showing off. You know those times when you like show up at work and you're like, hey, like I'm early. I brought my friend coffee. Like, you know what I mean? Like your reports got done on time if you work in an office.
You got your shirt ironed.
Yeah, everything.
You took a shower.
Exactly. You took a shower. But yeah, then otherwise, let's see, there's a new moon in Scorpio on the 7th. So, and that's in your 10th house, which has to do with reputation. So you may find kind of like that you're doing some, investigations. I always feel like Scorpios are like investigators.
What do you mean? Like investigations on what?
Like they like to dig deep. They don't like very shallow kind of like, okay, like I understand this on a shallow level.
Oh, you're right.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like I've been diving deep with my clients and like getting into like root chakra stuff lately. Like talking a lot about childhood and how that's affecting you and like family stuff and then your community and then like what you really need to do. Like I got so real with this person the other day on Skype. Like I was just like, I listened to everything and I was like, here's what I'm hearing, and it was just like this big intense message for them.
With that in Scorpio, I'd say it's a really a big push to strive for deeper levels of intimacy. But this has to do with your reputation too. So I would say it may come up as emotional. It may come up as digging into how you really feel about your reputation. Is there anything you feel like you're not happy with? Or is there anything you feel like is out of alignment with where you are, like on a spiritual level? And then it's an opportunity to make changes.
I really want to do a lot more meditation on the channel. Like I've been talking so much about cord cutting, and I'm surprised I haven't even done a cord cutting meditation. And I did a meditation for finances. Everyone was really liking it. Check it out, by the way. It's called Pick a Card Reading Finances. It has a meditation and affirmations. It's basically like you do it and like if you have money issues or problems, it'll like clear it for you. And I love that. I love that meditation.
Can also be emotional.
But I want to do more, cord cutting. And I know we're going to be talking a lot about abuse the next couple of months, narcissistic abuse. A lot of people are starting to hit me up and being like, my mom's acting like this. Why do I keep fighting with my parents all the time? And they tell me what's happened. And I'm like, that's abuse.
There's also...
And so I'm like hooking people up with resources and professionals. Because some of you guys, I want to be real, like, I'm here to help and I'm a psychic and like I am channeling messages, but at the same time there are some, like, I'm not professionally trained in therapy and counseling, so there are some things that are out of the scope of like what I can do. And so I have a feeling like I will be helping more people get hooked up with therapists and stuff, because a lot of people come to me telling me things that they don't feel safe telling anybody else, but like, I have to, like, having this position, I have to help people get hooked up with a therapist or whatever. I've given this suicide hotline to a couple people and stuff like that.
It's responsible.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know the next couple months are rough for a lot of people. Some people have like seasonal depression and I promised everybody I was going to be doing more pick a card readings and talks on narcissistic abuse. Maybe you can help me with that. And just, because I think a lot of us, what we have in common is we've been through like some really tough things. We've been through some traumas. A lot of people are coming to this channel like to heal that, or even for twin flame stuff, like some people are really depressed and really down because they really love somebody and they're in separation. And so that can be rough too. So
with the moon in Scorpio, it's gonna be rough. There's
I've been noticing a lot of people have been really upset lately. I've been speaking
for people who have difficulty digging that deep, and processing like and allowing like emotions to come out, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna bring it up in you.
Yeah, for people who have difficulty with that.
Sometimes you just gotta let yourself cry. Sometimes you just gotta admit, like, you know what? Maybe it's just a bad day. But like
people hang on to this concept like, I'm not a mess. I have everything together. I'm not up and down. And it's like
we all are, you guys.
That's part of the human experience, is having ups and downs.
Yeah.
So when you resist that, you end up suffering. You end
even
up
my stable
being grumpy and irritable.
Yeah,
and
even
like,
my stable, logical Taurus here can be up and down. And
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be difficult to push up against if your tendency is to resist dealing with
So how
deeply
long is this
emotional
going?
stuff.
How long is this going for? And when does it start?
The moon.
The Scorpio thing?
Well, the moon moves through the signs pretty quickly, but the new moon falls in Scorpio, so it's just probably like, I think, 2 or 3 days at the most.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Anything else I need to know?
Well, new moons typically mean obviously starting off on new things, so it's obviously a good time to start changes, like you were saying, having to do with your reputation, maybe digging into deeper issues and resolving them and stuff.
Yeah.
The last thing was Venus is in Libra. It just started at the end of last month. It is in retrograde until the 16th, so it's not necessarily like perfection and everything like that. But it is, since it's in Libra, it's a tendency to look back, to consider, ways of balancing different aspects of your relationship. It's in retrograde, so obviously there's the part of it.
Yeah.
Restructuring, reorganizing, revisiting. But it's trining, meaning it's kind of lining up in just the right way with Mars in Aquarius, where there's going to be this really easy and almost unnoticeable flow and like synergy between those two alignments. Venus in Libra and Mars in Aquarius. So I would say communication, because Mars is in Aquarius. Mars is this planet of kind of aggression and like the masculine energy, getting things that you want, getting things done the way that you want them done, in a very Aquarian way.
And it's in Aquarius, because Aquarius is kind of a masculine sign, and Aquarius is already like that.
So communication.
So we're going to get shit
you're
done.
You're going to find communicating what you want comes maybe easier, getting the things that you want done.
So that's going to be really good for this channel too.
But there's a balance to it. Like I said, with Venus in Libra, I feel like, it's going to be...
I'm happy that Venus is going into Libra, not a Scorpio.
Yeah, and with Venus, Venus is a planet of beauty and aesthetics and
love.
Love, and so it's pretty good. And obviously it goes direct on, I think, the 16th. And,
I know. You guys, we've been talking about Venus retrograde. Yeah.
Not a time to start a new relationship. Just gonna say that.
It can be rough.
Unless it's
and
just
everyone's
short-term.
exes have been coming back. Everyone's been like, and then people have been thinking about people from the past. I've been doing a lot of love readings. If you need a love reading, if Venus retrograde is affecting you, hit me up.
If you're like, all of a sudden I'm thinking about my ex and I just really want to call them.
Don't do it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny. And we've got Mercury, everyone knows, it's in retrograde right now, right?
But it's just shadow phase.
It just started.
It hasn't hit full retrograde yet, but it's
We're feeling
shadow phase.
it. Oh
I think
my
on the 28th
God.
the shadow phase started.
Do you feel like with you and me, like just our experience, doesn't it seem to hit us, you and I, harder during the shadow phase? I feel like I experience things like kind of early before the collective because I report on it.
I think during the shadow phase, because we notice what's happening, we're more sensitive to it because we're traveling also.
Yes.
That shadow phase is typically like that time frame where you really want to prepare and like do all this.
We just had a lot of Mercury retrograde shit go down. It was just like the craziest.
So I think we probably don't get the brunt of it, like from what I hear other people's stories and stuff like that. I feel like we don't really get the nasty bite.
No, because we accept it. That's the thing about Mercury retrograde is we just laugh about it and we'll blame shit on it.
And we check things 5 times.
And then, but we won't get upset. We'll be like, well, of course that happened. It's Mercury retrograde. Yeah. So it is what it is.
You accept that communications are just going to be really obnoxious.
We accepted that we just left our passports at our last place. And you have to go back and get it.
I have to go back and get my passport.
You have to ride 3 trains.
Fortunately, it's just it's literally by car, it's only 45 minutes away. But by train, it's an hour and a half or 2 hours. Yeah. So we have to go back and get it. And I'm like, But at least, our hosts found it and they let us know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we
would have been screwed.
I don't even know how we forgot about it.
I don't know what. Yeah, we were so tired. Also, our card, okay, so it's a long story, but the card that we used to get cash, stopped working. Like it just crapped out.
It's one of those chip cards, which I hate.
And it crapped out.
I hate the chip cards.
And we couldn't get cash for like a week. And we had to order a new card from America and have it sent all the way here. Yeah. And we had to use our credit card the whole time. And like he couldn't remember, because like you know how sometimes with some credit cards you can get cash? Well, he couldn't remember how to, like his PIN. And like they have to mail you the PIN.
I set it up like 2 years ago, and I never used cash advances.
We barely use our credit cards. Yeah. Like it's like for emergencies. And so like this. And so we had to like use a credit card to buy everything. And then we were like eating out at restaurants, and like they were like tip, and we're like we couldn't give them a tip because we were paying with the credit card, and like they didn't like have a way you could sign for it. So like we weren't tipping people. And then we couldn't take the metro for a whole week.
Yeah. We had to take a taxi.
We had to take a taxi everywhere. Yeah. And the taxis here are like crazy expensive, and like it was like the worst. Yeah. And we were like, one night we just wandered around the city and went to like 10 ATMs on foot because we couldn't take the metro, trying his card at like every bank, just trying to get some cash. Oh, that has all happened over the past week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really tired.
Thank you to the chip cards.
Thank you.
I really don't like them.
Yeah, anymore. Right. But now we have our new card, and we got our cash. We took the metro.
Yeah.
I felt very classy, just like taking the taxi everywhere for a week. I'll admit, that was nice. But there's been even more Mercury retrograde stuff that's happened to us. Yeah. Out of nowhere, everything was like great. We were like having the best time. Everything was fine, and then that shit happened.
But it's like we always talk about this too. Mercury retrograde is like it's like a workout period.
Yes.
For your
to be alert,
for your communication skills, for communicating clearly.
Yeah.
It's like this time period where all of a sudden, like, being very deliberate and focused on your communication becomes difficult. So you're like, you have to like really like.
You can't resist it either. Like all that stuff was happening, and yeah, we were upset. Like we felt our emotions, we processed it, but we were like just kind of went with it and just was like whatever. Like it'll work out somehow. It always ends up working out in the end. You just
double
gotta
check, triple
flow
check.
through it. Yeah. So you guys, last message, I guess. Double check everything, triple check everything. Mercury retrograde's coming. If your car breaks down, or something happens with your bank card or your finances.
Don't count on. Don't count. I mean, I would just say don't count your chickens. Or what is it?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, something like
that.
Yeah,
don't count.
But also like when one thing I found with Mercury retrograde is like when you count on like communication to like set you up for something like at just the right time where you're like, I'm just gonna email this person like last minute and like blah blah. Don't count on that. And
have a backup plan. Whenever I would do photo shoots during my Mercury retrograde, I would have like another model. Like I'd hire a model, but then I'd have like another one that I was like, hey, if this doesn't work out, can you come? And I would have like literally backup plans for everything, and like literally I'd always have to just use the backup plan. Like it would be crazy. And so yeah, I guess that's it. We probably should stop. It's been going on forever.
So that's for Aquarius.
Well, you guys.
This Aquarius.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, rambling about astrology and my chart and the transits and stuff. And we're probably going to be doing more posts like this every once in a while whenever we're just talking about astrology. Hope you guys enjoy. If you want a reading with John, check out my website. You can purchase from him, promiseharmony.com/services. He does tarot too. Check out his channel. Description will be below. And then if you want John to talk about any topic on his channel for free, you can just comment and ask him a question or ask him to talk about something, and he'll consider it. He'll, just like I do, where you guys make suggestions to me on what videos to do or what pick a card readings to do, we also do that, you know, and we promise you guys free content on the regular. Keep coming back to visit our channels, like and subscribe. He only has like 200 followers.
Yeah,
you guys
I'm just starting to
blow him up, okay? And the more people he gets to following him, and the more likes and stuff he gets, and the more he'll post, and the more he'll do, and yeah.
I was doing readings for a while. I kind of found my niche with astrology, so I'm doing the transits and like a reading for the week together in the same video for different
Yeah, so he does
signs.
the astrology and a card reading for every week for every sign.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out if this is gonna work long term.
I want to do it, but I haven't even had a chance. I want to do like November reading for Aquarius, Taurus, Libra, like everybody. But I literally have not had a chance to do that because of like my readings and everything.
But yeah, so I'm gonna be blowing up my channel a lot more now.
Yeah.
Now that I kind of found my thing, I'm having lots of
Oh,
fun
that was
with
my
it.
ankle.
So,
Did you hear that?
I'll see you guys.
Anyways, you guys, we'll see you later. Peace out.